Hi everyone, I'm Catherine. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, Catherine's Plates, where I always like to keep it simple, easy, and delicious in my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making creamy chicken stew. Now, I did a poll about a week ago and asked my community, you guys, which stew you wanted me to make today. And so I gave you three options, and y'all, it was so close. It was between the creamy chicken stew, the Philly cheesesteak stew, and the beef stew. I know it's the chicken today, but I'm going to tell you what, the other two are so high on my list also that you will be seeing those sometime soon. Don't worry. Okay, creamy chicken stew. It sounds warm, it sounds inviting, delicious, y'all. The broth in this is going to be seasoned so well. Simple, easy, delicious is my motto today. So don't be afraid of this stew. So if you're ready, what I'm going to do is show you the ingredients that you're going to need, and then we're going to start building this all up in one soup pot. Let's go. Alright, so the ingredients I'm going to use to make my creamy chicken stew. I have 1.5 to 2 pounds of chicken breast. This is skinless, boneless. I have 2 celery stalks, 2 carrots, half an onion. I've got some potatoes here. These are the baby yellow potatoes, and I'm going to be using about 3 cups once I cut these up. Now, I've got a jar of roasted red bell peppers here. Or you can use like a whole red bell pepper and just dice that up. I've got some oil here. Got a frozen bag of peas and a frozen bag of green beans. I'm only going to use about 1/2 to 3/4 cup of each. It depends on how much room I have in my pot for that. For my broth, I'm going to be using this Better Than Bouillon, and this is the roasted chicken flavor here. I'm going to be making about 4 to 6 cups of the broth. I've got some heavy whipping cream. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be using of this yet. We're going to be putting this in towards the end if we need to thicken it. Now, for the seasonings, I have rosemary, thyme, sage, some salt, and pepper. That's it. Let's go ahead and get started. So I've taken my chicken breast out of the package, and I've got 2 more sitting here. I'm going to see how much I'm going to need. Now, what we want to do is just kind of cut these into cubes. So I'm just going to slice them about 1/2 inch thick. So then I'm just going to take my slices here, cut it lengthwise in half, and then I'll be able to dice these from there. So that is what we're looking for right there. Now what we're going to do is start heating up our soup pot here. And then we're going to add a little bit of cooking oil, about 1 tablespoon. We're going to start heating this up, and then we're going to add our chicken. I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper to flavor it while it is browning up in the pot here. All right, let's go ahead and add the chicken. All right, I'm just going to flatten it out just a little bit. I'll go ahead now and season it with some salt. And some pepper. Now I'm going to let it cook for about 3 to 4 minutes on this side, and then we're going to flip it over. And while this is browning, we're going to go ahead and start dicing up our carrot, celery, and onions. Now, In stews, you want stuff to be kind of chunky, right? We don't want to have tiny pieces that we can't find because they melted into the soup. So when I cut my onion, I'm going to make them kind of chunky. We want them to soften up too, so you know, don't make them too chunky. Just like that. Alright, I'm just going to move these onto my plate here, get them ready. Now with the celery, I'm just going to cut it long ways. Now I've already cleaned all my vegetables off and trimmed off the ends to make it easy to make the soup here. That looks good right there. And then I'm just going to dice them pretty big. We're going to go ahead now and take a look at our chicken and get that turned over. So I'm going to finish cutting up the celery and the carrots and keeping an eye on my chicken at the same time. It's going to smell good here in a minute. Go ahead and put that on our plate. Now I've scrubbed off my carrots. I didn't peel them, but I do scrub them off really good. I like that skin on there. It kind of gives it a rustic look to the soup. I'm going to be slicing these kind of like disc. Now, if you don't want to use chicken breast, you can certainly use chicken thighs if you want to do that in this soup. That's totally fine. I just happen to like chicken breast better than chicken thighs, so. So I can see that the chicken is almost done. We don't want it completely cooked because it's chicken breast and we don't want to dry it out in the soup. So we're going to completely cook it when we start simmering the soup. So I'm going to go ahead now and take out the chicken. I'm going to place it in my bowl that I have sitting here. There we go, just like that. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more oil in there. And then we're going to start sauteing up our celery, carrots, and onions that we have diced up. Now we go ahead now and add some pepper to it. We need to flavor every layer that we do. And we're going to add some salt to it. I'm going to saute this down until our onions are nice and soft and translucent, and then I will bring you back. So we are looking at a nice translucent and soft onion there. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. This will help thicken up the soup, make it creamy too. I'm going to start now adding my seasonings. I've got rosemary here. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon. Just going to crush it up as I put it in. I have some thyme. We'll put half a teaspoon of that in. Whoop, a little too much there. There we go. I know that's happened to y'all. You get a little more seasoning than you thought. Now I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of sage. These are all the lovely flavors that belong with chicken, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and stir this up for about 1 to 2 minutes till we coat the flour onto the vegetables and cook out that flour taste. So you're going to go ahead now and add your broth, and I'm using the Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken flavor. So I'm going to go ahead now and put about 4 teaspoons in here. Maybe a little bit more. We can readjust the flavors as you go, so don't worry about that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and add my water. Turn up my heat a little bit. I'm going to stir this around. Oh my gosh, that smells amazing in there. Now I've got my chopper here, and what I'm going to do is start chopping up my potatoes. So I'm just going to, because they're small baby potatoes here and are already cleaned off really good, I'm just going to place them on my chopper and do them all like that. Now if you can see, I'm going to show you the size of that blade right there. That's what I'm looking to do my potatoes with right there. That'll make them cook faster. You can see how many it's doing. It's crazy, huh? I'm going to go ahead now and add this to my soup. Give that a mix. Now what we're going to do is bring this up to a boil. And as soon as this comes up to a simmer, I'll bring you right back. I'm going to go ahead now and add my chicken. So I'm going to go ahead now and add my red peppers. I'm just going to pull some out of the jar here and put it into my soup. If they're not cut up like these are, then you can just go ahead and just cut them up into dices. Whew, these smell good. I love roasted bell peppers, the red ones. Just give that a mix. Remember, we're still waiting for it to come up to a boil before we start simmering this. Alright, so I just took my lid off my pot and I'm just stirring things up here. The potatoes are done. Oh yeah, perfect. Everything in there is done. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead now and add about half a cup of green beans. Let's go right there. And half a cup of some sweet peas. So I'm going to go ahead now and add a quarter cup of some heavy cream. Finish thickening this stew up. Just like that. Because the peas and the beans and the heavy cream went in, I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. I'm going to go ahead now and slowly mix this together. It smells amazing in my house. I don't know. I wish y'all could smell this. But you know, you can do it one more. You can do it even better than that. You can make your own, let me tell you. It is delicious. Alright, y'all. Are you ready for me to bowl this up? Because it is done. Okay, y'all, creamy chicken stew. I'm telling you what, it smells amazing. It looks fantastic. See all the colors in there? You can do this. It didn't take me very long at all, probably around an hour for the whole soup to come together like that. Let me go in for you. Nothing like making people jealous. Y'all like that bite right there? Get my towel here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Right away, that creaminess, the flavors of all of those seasonings went in there. Look how beautiful that looks with all the colors. The chicken is so tender. The potatoes are cooked, everything is cooked well. Alright y'all, I want to thank you so much for voting for the creamy chicken stew. Okay, my husband's happy because he's ready to dive in. So comment down below what you think. Give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification so you'll always know when shows like this are posted. Alright y'all, I will see you on my next episode.